I thought I was just visiting my childhood home, but something felt wrong. I had always told myself I would visit my childhood home one day. After years of living in the city, it felt like the right moment to return to the small town where I grew up. My parents had moved away a few years ago, and the house had been empty ever since. The idea of walking through its familiar halls, standing in the rooms where my life had begun, was comforting. I expected to feel nostalgic, maybe even a little emotional. But from the moment I pulled up the gravel driveway, something was off. The house looked almost exactly as I remembered, its worn white exterior, the overgrown ivy creeping along the side, the creaking porch steps. But there was something in the air that made my skin prickle. A stillness. It was as if the house had been holding its breath, waiting for me to arrive. I hesitated at the front door. My hand lingered on the cold brass knob, the very same one I'd turned countless times as a child. But this time I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Still, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. The smell hit me first. The faint scent of old wood mixed with something unfamiliar. Something metallic, like rust. I frowned, brushing it off as the house just being old. I flicked on the light and made my way into the living room. Everything was in its place, or so it seemed. The furniture was covered in dusty white sheets, as if someone had tried to preserve it for years. But the atmosphere felt thicker, heavier. The house felt empty in a way it hadn't before. I walked through the rooms, each one more unsettling than the last. The kitchen looked untouched, except for the small table where my family used to eat dinner together. The old photographs that lined the walls of the hallway were all familiar, but something about them seemed distorted. The faces in the pictures looked like they were staring right back at me, not with warmth, but with a knowing that chilled me to my core.